All right. I'm shuffling and they flew everywhere. I am Caitlyn Jenner. Let's see. Do a bit of a character profile here. Character profiles take a while, so it'll be a long video. So, for those who don't know, but I'm sure you do, but for those who don't know, Caitlyn Jenner is the celebrity turned politician all of a sudden. Started out as Bruce Jenner, an Olympian, and transitioned from male to female to Caitlyn Jenner. And as a transgendered woman, has some very interesting views upon the LGBT community rights. And basically is in opposition to all of those rights. Leading people, like me, I will say, to question this person's character, just to say the least. And so I'm going to do a character profile. Let's see who Caitlyn Jenner is. Is she really a person who struggled with identity her whole life and did the things that they say you're supposed to do, you know, meet the girl, have the kids, the house, the picket fence, all that? Or is this person just playing dress up and more concerned with celebrity than activism? Which you don't have to be an activist. Just because you have a pulpit doesn't mean you have to use it. But in her case, she is using the pulpit. She's just using it to do the opposite of her own interest. Well, I shouldn't even say that because her interests are her own. But if you are a transgendered woman, you would think you would try to lift other transgendered people, but you do what you want to do. So let's see who you are and why you are the way you are. King of Pentacles in the center. It is interesting already. Ace of Swords. The Sun, Nine of Pentacles, Ten of Swords, Ace of Cups, Knight of Cups, Ten of Cups, the Lover's card, Ten of Pentacles. So, for the sake of fairness, I'm going to pull again. Now, the reason I'm going to pull again is because this is Caitlyn Jenner. This is a man. So, as I said, well, I'll tell you what this says first. However I had this laid out. I'll tell you what this says first, and then we'll go from there. So there's a guy here who, with the Ace of Swords, has some sort of clarity. Clarity over something ending. Exposure in endings here. This has something to do with this person's relationship with a very well-financed woman. That would be your Kris Jenner. There is a new house here. The Knight of Cups and the Lovers are both present, which means that there is a third person involved. This is wit and romance on its own. You don't need this too. Wit and romance and charm and all that good stuff is all encapsulated into this, but this is like a date. This is your marriage. The lovers in the traditional depiction depict Adam and Eve. That's your marriage. That's your bond. That's your we are one thing. This is a tryst. This is a date. This is courting. That's why it's charm, wit, and romance. It's dating. There's your Kris Jenner well-financed woman, but the Ace of Cups is also a new person. Caitlyn Jenner had someone on the side. This relationship ended with these two people. It did not end because Bruce Jenner came out as transgendered. There was somebody else here. There is your family. This is your family legacy. You don't need both of these to indicate family. Again, these are two separate lives. Not two separate lives as in Bruce Jenner, Caitlyn Jenner. These are two separate lives as in this person goes here with the new family and the harmony and the peace and the togetherness. This person goes here with the marriage and the legacy and the heritage, as in would they have 2-3 kids, something like that. So this is the family that was left behind. This is the one that was just started after the marriage broke down. Illumination on endings. Someone may have found out and kept that part under the rug until today. Allegedly. But like I say, let me get a whole new deck here. Pardon me, excuse. Okay. And give me this. Give me this. This will fit. And the reason I'm doing all this, or going this far out, is because I do have a predisposed opinion of Caitlyn Jenner, and I don't want that to bleed. redlintohealing.com. I don't want that to bleed into the reading, because I think the child is just playing dress up, if you ask me. But let's go. Has she? Let's see. What can you tell me about Caitlyn Jenner? What can you tell me about Caitlyn Jenner? The 8 of Wands is the first card there. 3 of Wands. Talking, moving forward. 10 of Wands. The Sun. The Wheel of Fortune. 5 of Pentacles. 6 of Swords. The Chariot. 2 of Swords. And the Death card. I don't want to just go out and ask about, is this person really transgendered or not, because I don't want to make it a habit of questioning a person's decision like that, because that takes a lot to get to that step, to even say it to yourself, let alone to the rest of the world. But there is something on the outs here that she has been trying to change and move forward. There are 3 cards that indicate, no, 4, 5, that indicate some sort of moving forward. We'll call it a transition. I'll call it that. The 8 of Wands is moving forward, but this is quickly. This is communication, something also almost instant even. The Wheel of Fortune is about time and this sort of the total culmination of life. This is your plans that you're moving forward and you're just waiting on everything to come back in the ink to dry. This is progress, that's progress. Now, the only reason I would even hesitate to call that person's transition is because after the illumination, this person was on the outs. Now, it was not an illumination as in, you know what, I'll be nice. I'll just be nice. I'll say this was her transition. Because I'll back that up with the Death card. How about that? I'll be nice and just say this is her transition. That, yes, I know. It's like, yes, but there's something else there. I know. I know, but I'll say this is her transition. And that is what changed her life, and that is what, caused a lot of the blockages in her relationships. I think, personally speaking, that this business here with this politics and the talking job that she is attempting to get is a saving of the image or trying to get people to see something else. She's not coming out and being some sort of champion for, you know what, I won't assume. Let's ask. Why is Caitlyn Jenner not fighting for transgender rights? Why? I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to be fair, not necessarily nice. I'm trying to be fair. Why? 6 of Swords again. 6 of Pentacles. 2 of Pentacles. The Wheel of Fortune. The Star. The Death card. The 10 of Pentacles. Knight of Cups. Okay. The Chariot. This is a show. This is a show. There's your Republican card. There's your big money card there too. The 6 of Swords and the 6 of Pentacles. There is a transition of money, transition of payments, transition of promises. There is a movement of promises, movement of money. The future is very off balance. I don't know if this person is, or Caitlyn is having some sort of identity crisis again with the Star. The Star is exposure, but it's also trying to be the center of attention too, because you are trying to be an actual celebrity. That's off balance. These people chase fame. I'll just, enough with the fairness. These people change fame or chase it. So here, there is trying to stop something. And the one thing that both of these cards tell you is you cannot stop time. There is an erosion of the Kardashian Jenner name and spotlight. That, for whatever reason, is trying to be stopped. So you start the pony, dog and pony show. Trying to get the opposites to attract. I think that, well, we know this to be true. So it's not even like I'm trying to pick on the child. You are a pawn. They're trying to use you to say we're not racist and bigoted and homophobic and all these type of things. The Chariot card is a card of opposites as well. If you look closely into the mask that are on the shoulders, one's frowning, one's smiling. Sphinx, black, white, facing opposite directions. There are a lot of opposites in that card, meaning that if you can get everything to run on the same page, you can be unstoppable. You don't fit in to the Republican legacy, but they can use you to say, look, we're not hateful. Dog and pony show. You're trying to stop the inevitable. That's the death card. Happens to everyone. In the death card, there's the king lying on the ground. There's a clergyman. There are people who are considered to be the lower class or the peasants or whatever the case may be, which means it comes for everybody. Rich, poor, old, young, comes for everybody. He rode in on a pale white horse, and his name was Death. It's the book of Revelations, I believe. Cannot stop it. This is time itself. You cannot stop it. The erosion of your name is just going to happen. But this is also a card that speaks to image. You can be the merchant, the city councilman coming through, feeding the poor. A few scraps off the table. This is just a celebrity move. That's all this is. So, I want to ask about your transition. How was it for you? Your transition. Let's just go there. Let's just go there, shall we? Seems appropriate. The Love is Love deck, so let's see. How was your transition? I am trying to be fair. I really am. But I think you are the biggest lying sack of shit I have ever seen in my whole life. But, okay. 2 of Cups. Page of Pentacles. There's a relationship. Ace of Pentacles, Page of Cups, the Hermit, 3 of Wands, 2 of Pentacles, 3 of Pentacles, Page of Wands, and the 4 of Swords. Now here's the thing. I'm pretty sure by this point, if you're still here, then hi. If you want to be offended, I say always, it's not what I say, it's why did you respond the way you did to what I say. Which means you need some therapy to heal whatever it is on the inside that is agitated when I say what I say. But I am not transgender. I don't know what it is like to look in the mirror and not see yourself. But I will say this. This is a man in a dress. That's what I say. Point blank period. Two of Cups, Page of Pentacles. There's some sort of little consulting that's going on here. There's some relationship, non-romantic, but Page of Pentacles. With the Ace of Pentacles, this is talking about some sort of opportunity. The Hermit. Now, if I had the Hermit and the Moon, I could say this may have been some deep contemplation with some results that were just kind of murky, that they didn't really know how to get out of it or how to get into it or whatever the case may be. Or if I got the Hermit with the Death card, then you had deep contemplation and then major change. I got the Hermit and the Four of Swords, which means you didn't do anything. Then I get the Three of Wands. There is no Four of Wands to indicate completion. I get the Three of Pentacles. This may have been a business opportunity. And I get the Two of Pentacles. There's some imbalance that is happening in your life, and I think it may have something to do with opportunity. Not just necessarily money. Opportunity. Contracts. Page of Cups, Page of Wands, Page of Pentacles. The only page we don't have is the Page of Swords because there's no emotional upsets. The Page of Swords can indicate a mental conflict. This is of the heart. This is of the pocket. This is of the hands. So there's some sort of action that was happening to deal with maybe contracts or things of that nature. I think, as the card says, I love my trans child. I just do not think that's who she is. Now, out of the respect for those who do have a very difficult backstory when it comes to being transgendered, I will still call you she. If that's what you say, that's what I'll go with. What's going on with Caitlyn Jenner? There is a bit of redundancy that's happening, which means it probably has something to do with greed. Because I get the image, I almost said vision, but I'll go with vision. The vision of a bird with wings, sprouting wings, which means you are trying to gain something you do not need. Which means this has nothing to do with your transition. I mean, not that it would, because you're not transitioning. You have already done it. So there is trying to gain something you do not need. Here you have the people left behind. Here you have those you are stepping over. This would be the actual transgender community. Because you have the pulpit to help. But again, You're not your brother's keeper, even though you should be, but you are not. You do not have to take care of the transgender community. But for people like me, not that it matters, because I have absolutely no say-so in your life whatsoever, but for people like me who think that people like you should do what they can for the transgender community, being that you are transgendered, and then for you to step over them as though they're not there, I think that is harmful to say the least. But the problem with this is you have nowhere to land. So even if you gain some Republican supporters, this does not help you in the long run. There's going to be a lot of talk and a lot of press, naturally, around you here because this is something you are taking seriously. There, however, is a lot of fallout as well, because the type of attention that you are seeking, you are about to gain. Ask your friend Donald Trump about such a thing. There is also something that is going to be a bit of a eureka moment for you, but it's going to be too late by that time. Your words are about to come and bite you big time. Like, not just the ones you're speaking nowadays. This is going to be like past things, past tweets, and you know, people, they deep dive when you are in the public eye. So these words you say from the past are about to come and haunt you. There is something going on at your foundation as well. Oh, Brad Parscale, probably. There is something going on in your foundation here as well. You might want to watch something going out the back door. There's a bit of a fire in your campaign too. There's something going on where damage control. That's what you're going to have to do here. I heard baseball. What about baseball? Don't make public appearances if that's what you're thinking of doing. I don't know why I heard baseball, but don't make public appearances unless you want to get booed. That may be the damage control, but there's something about baseball here. I don't know if you're going to a baseball game or you got a former baseball player who is going to be some sort of supporter or something for you, or whatever the case may be, but stay out of the baseball game. What a horrible person. I can't pretend to be, what a horrible person. Well, let's see what kind of person you are, shall we? What a horrible person. What's in your treasure chest? I know it. You fly right on out of there. I bet that means something, but let's see. Roots. That was a 6. I knew it. I knew it. Flew out again. Crown chakra and throat chakra. And your roots. You are all about the talk. You are all right now. Your identity. And mind you, this is not a complete culmination of this person. This is just what Spirit is saying right now. So right now you are using your voice and not your inner voice. This, however, is going to be matched with your identity. This is about what you want to say. You have no real connection. The crown dice in this system is not necessarily always God. It is just outside source, outside people, outside whatever. So let's just call this transgender community. Well, you know what? We won't even do that. Let's just call it people in general. They see you. Your communication is strong, but your support is weak. This usually comes from the outside. This is the inside, usually. So from the outside, it is extremely weak. You have no support. So this is in vain. This running for whatever governor. This... sacral. This is your pleasure. So we have a third eye, which is strong, and the solar plexus, which is strong. So you know what you want, and you can get what you want. I won't even make the because you're a rich white man type thing, but let's just say you know what you want, you can get what you want. Your third eye in this system is not always your psychic ability. It is just what you can envision, the thing that you want, the thing that you can see ahead of you. Something you don't have yet, but you can see it, and then you can, with your solar plexus, go out and get it. This is your house of action, willpower. So, in your solar plexus is a solar plexus, which is very stable, and your crown in the same place. Now, in your actual house of action, your solar plexus, in your inside of you, the third eye is very weak and very unstable. Now, while you can see the things that you want, the things that are pleasing to you with the crown chakra here, while you can see those things and they are very pleasing to you, you don't actually get the things you need. The things that you need are not here. You don't actually get that. The thing that can keep you sustained, the thing that can keep you empowered, you don't actually get that. So you see the things that please you, just not the things that sustain you. Heart. Your family is important to you. You have a very strong root here, and in your heart is a very strong heart. Your family is important. Your daughters, more than likely, is very important to you. So that's good. At least you have that. Throat. There is no divine connection, and there is no connection to people on the outside. But you do speak with passion. You just don't speak with passion to the right people. Third eye. Third eye is strong sacral, which makes sense because there it is. It's strong sacral and strong root in your third eye, which means, again, you can see what you want, and that is your identity. You can see what you want, your pleasures, and that is who you are. A grabber, a person who wants things. And there you go. In the inside of you, in your crown chakra, your divine connection and your connection to outside people, is pleasure and throat. This is what you say and what you want. You can say it. You can envision it. You are all about yourself. This is basically the profile of a selfish person. Basically. You speak, but you do not speak to those that need to hear. You envision your pleasures, your creativity even. You can come up with some stuff, but not the stuff that sustains you. You care about your family, and that is always good, for they will be the ones to pick you up when you fall. In your throat, you speak with passion, but you do not speak to those who need to hear. Both of your crown chakras, both your root and not your root, but your crown chakras, your God, and your personal relationships with people on the outside world that are not your family are both the one. This is poor and basically dead. Then your throat and your root are both coupled with your sacrals, which are very strong. You are a selfish person. Calcifrates. So, one more. What does Spirit want to say to you? What would Spirit want to say to you if you were to listen? Let's keep it. What does it want to say to you if you were to listen? Self-love. I think let's keep going. Darkness. Well, I don't really need to keep going because it said the same thing. Fruition, trust, abundance. Your problem is not on the outside world. As your dice just alluded to, you think too much about yourself, just not in the right way to sustain you. You are trying to cover something up. Whatever hurt, trauma, regret, you're trying to cover it up. Never mind Bruce, never mind Caitlin. Whoever that child is on the inside that never got the insight into a loving family, that never got the insight into what it is like to be wanted. It's okay to assume your parents love you or your friends or whoever the case may be. But sometimes people just want to be wanted or need to be needed. They want to be important to somebody. Anybody. And it's nice to say, oh, I don't care what people think about me. Yes, you do. Everybody does. You just don't care what all people think of you. But there is at least one person who holds an opinion of you that you actually care about. And it's not just yourself. It's someone on the outside of you. But no one ever told you that on the inside of you actually counts as well. Something, as I said, the eureka moment, something is going to try to communicate or has tried to communicate. To get that little child out of that egg. Someone or something is going to try to pull you out of that darkness. You are trying to cover up whoever is on the inside screaming out with anything you possibly can. No, I do not believe you are transgendered. I believe you're just covering up so that no one sees who is on the inside. Should you show them, though, then you will blossom. And then if you want to be, call yourself transgender, be all the transgenders you want to be. But you need to fix this first. There's a crippled person on the inside. That's why the selfishness is there. Because it wants things. It's trying to cover up. That's what people do when they are dealing with trauma. Is they try to cover up their trauma with outside things. Food, sex, drugs, alcohol, whatever the case may be. They try to cover it up because they don't know how to deal with it, or they don't even know that it's there. It's your turn, Caitlin. I call you. Figure it out.